back here on KBCSports.com. Jeff Kurtz and Doug Kurtz live at Balboa Stadium, San Diego High School's campus. The Scripps Ranch Falcons on the road here in the Eastern League tonight, trailing 20-10 to the St. Augustine Saints in a battle, not just obviously down to one player on each team, but certainly the marquee part of the matchup tonight. Tate Forcier, sophomore quarterback for Scripps Ranch, facing off against his brother, Chris Forcier, senior quarterback for the St. Augustine Saints. It has been a little bit quieter, Doug, around the Forcier household this week, what with normally Tate and Chris sharing scouting reports and how do you play against this team and what did you see against that opponent. And this week a little more tight-lipped. I think mostly the conversation was, hey, can you pass the Cheerios and how's your homework going?
Cheerios. Okay.
Wheaties?
Right,
I don't know what they're eating at the Forciers these days.
Well, let's tell everybody how we got to 20-10. Scripps Ranch started off with an opening drive. After about 2 minutes, they kicked a 32-yard field goal and was up 3-0. St. Augustine answered on their drive with a 13-yard touchdown pass to Larry Parker, and the Saints were up 7-3. And Scripps Ranch came back, Jeff, in a minute and 20 seconds. Brian Russell hauling in a 44-yard reception, a bomb down the right sideline, and Scripps Ranch was up 10-7 after one quarter. But it was all Saints in the second quarter. 7 minutes, 25 seconds to go in the quarter as Leland Kuntz with a 13-yard TD reception. They missed the extra point. It was 13-10 at that moment. And then with 59 seconds left in the half, St. Augustine ran the ball in Leach James from 3 yards out on a drive, Jeff, that was all on the ground, and St. Augustine with a 20-10 lead. At that point, that's where we are at the half.
St. Augustine 4-3 coming into the ball game tonight, 1-1 in league. 6-1 were the Falcons coming in, 2-0 in league, tied with Mira Mesa on top of the Eastern League standings. Folks, today's game being brought to you by allprostickers.com. For banners, business cards, and any signage you might need, contact Mike McGrath and his team at 619-994-6335. That's allprostickers.com. Folks, also want to let you know that not only are we the official webcaster for the CIF playoffs in the San Diego section, we're also your home for the State Bowl Championship in the state of California, the only place on the internet where you can listen to the State Bowl Championship. The first in over 70 years here in the state of California. That's going to take place on December 16th in Carson, California. The San Diego section CIF Championship concludes Monday, December 4th. But you can follow us all the way through the playoffs here on KBCSports.com. Doug, we're moments away from the start of the second half. St. Augustine will be getting the football, a 10-point lead. What do you expect to see in the second half of play? We've seen a lot of personal fouls in the first half, that's for sure.
Yeah, we've had a few personal foul penalties, 4 for St. Augustine, 2 for Scripps Ranch. But, you know, as far as adjustments go, Jeff, Scripps Ranch obviously has to make the most adjustments because on the line of scrimmage, defensively, their defensive line is getting overpowered by the Saints' offensive line. And then offensively, Jeff, Tate Forcier is just not getting enough time as he's dropping back to pass. The offensive line for the Falcons needs to step up as well. So you hope, if you're a Falcons fan, that those issues are with stamina and that the halftime break of 15 minutes will allow your players to rest and come back up on the field and be able to protect your quarterback and also stop the rush of the Saints. For the Saints, Jeff, strike quickly. If they can score here on their opening drive and, you know, get a 2 or 3 possession lead, they will really put a world of hurt for the Scripps Ranch Falcons. The Falcons will be in, Jeff, an aggressive mode the entire second half trying to come back.
Doug, you talk about Tate Forcier hasn't gotten a lot of time, especially in that second quarter, to throw the football.
Actually, the first quarter was great. Scripps Ranch had a 10-7 lead. They'd scored on 2 of their 3 possessions. But
since then, Forcier's been running for his life a little bit, and one player I want to highlight in particular, St. Augustine's been trying to contain Forcier in the pocket. They've been doing a good job of that. But Chris Poussin, while he hasn't gotten any sacks, has been coming off the right tackle, or the right end spot, I should say, on the defensive line for St. Augustine. And while he hasn't been able to get to Forcier, he's been bothering him enough and containing him in the pocket, and has been limiting Forcier's effectiveness, at least in the second quarter.
Certainly. You don't expect a lot of sacks against Forcier, but if you can do hurries and just make him throw bad passes, you can really make him struggle in that way.
Larry Parker taking the opening kickoff near sideline from his 2 and will be stopped at the 21-yard line, a return of 19 yards as Porfala, I think, surprising Parker a little bit. He'd been putting every kick in the end zone. This time he leaves Parker with 2 yards to work with from his 2-yard line and a gain of 19. The Saints will start at the 21.
Well, the Saints, Jeff, ended the first half. Their last drive of the first half was a touchdown. Every play was a run. They kept the ball on the ground. Do they do the same thing? Daniel Butler ran well. Leach James ran well. Chris Forcier can run as the quarterback. Let's see what they do here.
St. Augustine going left to right in the home purple jerseys with the white lettering. The Falcons on the road, right to left on defense in the white jerseys, blue lettering. As on first down, Chris Forcier is going to draw the right defensive tackle offside with his snap count, and St. Augustine is going to get their first 5 yards of the drive on a penalty. First and 5.
Trying to guess the snap count and get a slight advantage, and he guessed wrong.
First and 5 for the Saints now at their 26-yard line. We're 8 seconds into the third quarter. 20-10, St. Augustine over Scripps Ranch. Chris Forcier over center, 2 receivers near side, 1 far side, back to pass. Throws, and Larry Parker stopped the pattern a little bit short, or Forcier let him a little bit too much. Either way, incomplete.
A little bit of confusion. Forcier thought Parker was going to go 5 yards downfield and turn around. Parker was near the line of scrimmage. And fortunate that the pass falls incomplete. It could have been picked off.
The defensive back covering Parker on the near side.
Laid off a lot.
Gave him about 5 yards, and the ball was thrown 2 yards in front of Parker. And 3 yards away from the defensive back. Second down and 5 for the Saints. Barbaro splitting off to the far side. Kuntz to the near side. Offset I formation with Romero at fullback. James dotting the I. The offset to the right-hand side. James takes the handoff on the counter and will be close to the first down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5 yards. He's right at the sticks, and he may have enough for a first down. He does.
I don't think they need a measurement.
Not at all. By a football length.
I'll tell you what, Leach James in that second quarter, Jeff, he's getting a lot of big holes up the middle and to the side. And at some point in this game, if he continues to get those, he's going to break one all the way.
St. Augustine's not shown a lot of offset I formation this year, but they're using it tonight, keeping Romero in the ball game. He's at the H-back spot, left side, a receiver either side. Now Romero shifts over to the right. Handoff James, same counter play across the 35, out to the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 yards. Well, and St. Augustine's keeping the ball on the ground. They've thrown one pass on this possession. It was incomplete. Everything else on the ground or a penalty.
Right. And they've got Chris Forcier under center, Jeff, which is something that they don't do very often, or they haven't at least. I don't know if this is just an in-game change to the game plan or if this is what they planned all week long.
Now Forcier in the shotgun. He's going to run an option pitch to the outside to James, the short side of the field, and Scripps gets there in time to string it out. No gain. Third down and 4. Getting in on the tackle, number 47, Giovanni Lark, a name we've mentioned a number of times for the Falcons tonight.
Yeah, Lark's been all over the field, Jeff. That time getting to the sideline to make the tackle. We've got a situation here, Jeff, where St. Augustine uncharacteristically is playing characteristic football. You know, run, now third and long, an obvious passing situation. Let's see if they do that or if they keep the ball on the ground.
Barbaro to the far side, Kuntz to the near side with Sean Delgott in the slot. One back in the backfield, James. Tight end to the left for Forcier, who drops back to pass. Looks right, throws for Kuntz, and pass incomplete. In and out of the hands of Kuntz, who also took a hit in the secondary, and fourth down, St. Augustine will punt the football away.
The ball was thrown a little bit high to Kuntz, as he does about a 10-yard post pattern across the middle. And you got to think, Jeff, with the ball thrown a little bit high, Kuntz sensed that he might get hit and take a shot, and he was a little tentative trying to reach up and grab that ball and haul it in.
Scotty Miller, the left-footed punter for the Saints, back at his 22-yard line, and now we've got a penalty marker. It was fourth down and 4. Boy, if this is against Scripps Ranch, that's going to be a first down for the Saints. We'll see. The penalty marker, though, from the backside official.
Back by the return man, 30 yards downfield.
The official sorting it out. No signal yet. Nobody's moved in one direction or the other. And now this one's going to go against the Falcons.
Unbelievable.
Too many men on the field.
Me?
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Boy,
a mental error, Jeff, costs you a first, gives the other team a first down. You're about to get the ball back. and get your first drive of the second half. You're down by 10 points. You really need a good start to the half, and then you make a mental error.
St. Augustine.
On the special teams,
Yeah.
of all, your defense makes the stop, and your special teams lets them down. Let's see if they can recover here.
Too many men on the field for the Falcons. Now the Saints with the ball at their own 43. Forcier in the shotgun. James to his left. 3 receivers far side, 1 near side. Back to pass. Now screen pass far side of the field. James, a stiff arm, is going to get a yard.
Nice pickup on that tackle by number 6 for Scripps Ranch.
Evan Love.
A way to stay at home, and he met James right at the line of scrimmage just about, and James powered forward for a yard or two, but it's really not a big pickup.
The ball to the 44, 2nd and 9 for the Saints. 9:25 to go in the third quarter. St. Augustine leads it 20-10. Over Scripps Ranch, Jeff Kurtz, Doug Kurtz, cameraman Miles Sweet here on KBCSports.com. Offset I formation behind Forcier to the right. A receiver either side, tight end to the right for the Saints. Handoff James, over right guard, into the secondary. First down to the 45-yard line of the Falcons. Boy, that penalty on the punt, Doug, showing up huge here against Scripps Ranch.
And Leach James, Jeff, has to be feeling it right now, as they say, because he's getting lots of room to run, Jeff, and a back like him, he can get hit 2 or 3 times and not go down. On that play, he gets a first down out of it.
Tim McGarry into the ball game for the first time at receiver. Splits out to the near side for the Saints. Far side is Kuntz. Tight end to the right. Offset I formation to the right behind Forcier. The handoff James, who's going to be hit in the backfield and stopped for a loss. Back at the 48-yard line.
And
a loss
tackle
of 2.
By none other than Giovanni Lark, who came in unblocked, Jeff, from the left side.
Lark is all over the place.
You got to get a body on that guy. You got to get some shoulder pads on him because he is quick enough, Jeff, to make a tackle in the backfield, and on that play he did.
James loses 3, back to the 48. 2nd down and 13.
I mean, the play was actually run like it was going to be a counter to the right side, and Lark came over from the left side and made the tackle.
Barbaro back into the game, replacing McGarry. Soto, good to see him back in. He got a little dinged up in the first half. He's in the slot near side. Now James moving over to the near side. Butler in the backfield with Forcier in the shotgun.
Double slot.
Butler to the left of Forcier. Quick pass, James underneath, and a wide receiver screen to James. Does not get set up very well, and the Falcons do a nice job defensively.
Yeah.
James back to his own 49 on the loss.
You look at a result on that play, Elliott Hamilton making the tackle. Nice tackle by Hamilton. Jeff, you got to think that the Falcons saw that one in the film during the week and recognized the formation and knew what was coming.
3rd down and 16 for the Saints. Actually make that 15, a loss of 2. Back at their own 49-yard line. The first down marker at the 36 of the Falcons. Forcier breaks the huddle. He's in the shotgun with James to his left, Kuntz far side, 2 receivers near side. Now Parker in motion from right to left, leaving Barbaro alone on the near side with Soto at tight end. Back to pass, Forcier sets up, throws across the middle to Parker, who pulls it in. He's going to be close to a first down, might be just a little short at the 37, but Parker yanked that out of the air. What a great catch.
And with the tight end going into the pattern, Jeff, they had four players downfield. And Chris Forcier found the one guy that was open on that play, Parker. What a great look by Forcier. He checked off once and then found Parker over the middle.
4th down and 1 for the Saints at the Falcon 37-yard line after the 14-yard pass play, Forcier to Parker.
You got to believe they're going for it, and they are.
St. Augustine up to the line of scrimmage, 2 backs in the backfield, offset I to the right behind Forcier, who takes a snap, gives it to James. James powers forward. He's got the first down. Inside the 35 down to the 34. He needed a yard. He gets 3. The Saints' drive will continue, but remember, folks, they were looking at a 3 and out until Scripps Ranch on the punt had too many men on the field. St. Augustine needed 4 yards. They got 5 in the first down. Now they're in Falcon territory at the 34-yard line of Scripps Ranch, 1st and 10. And the Falcons are going to call timeout. Giovanni Lark, noticing that his defensive line wasn't even up to the line of scrimmage as the Saints go to a little bit of a hurry up, and the Falcons will burn their first timeout of the second half.
Interestingly, Jeff, the Saints just get a first down. This is a drive that should have been over a long time ago, but because of a penalty on the punt, the Saints got a first down, and they just got another first down to keep the drive alive. And the reaction on the Falcons sideline, Chris Forcier writhing in anger because his defense couldn't make the stop.
You mean Tate Forcier?
Excuse me, Tate Forcier. Yes, exactly. jumps up and down on the sideline after he saw that they got the first down. He wants to have the ball in his hands.
Oh, absolutely.
He's angry that he didn't get the ball in his hands, and he'll be further disappointed, I'm sure, if his team gives up some points out of this drive.
Well, we're 5 minutes and 28 seconds, Doug, into the second half of play, and the start of the third quarter, the first drive of the third quarter, always so critical. One team trying to get momentum back, and the other team trying to establish it. And St. Augustine benefiting on a 14-yard gain on 3rd and 15, setting up a 1-yard 4th and 1, and they get the first down, and now the Falcons having to burn their first time out of the second half. Forcier out of the timeout. That's Chris Forcier as an offset I formation to the left-hand side. Soto in motion right to left at tight end, now lining up on the left-hand side. Coons far side, Barbaro near side at receiver. Handoff James, dodging one tackler, two tacklers, going for the corner. Not going to dodge a third one, but he is going to get good yardage down to the 30-yard line and pick up a 4. Nice
really
tackle by the
out.
corner on the far
really
side.
Spread out by the corner and the linebacker, although he eluded the linebacker by straight arming him. And that's actually one feature of Leach James's game that I think he's really improved upon this year. He has added that dimension. He gets a couple of extra yards on some plays just by being able to straight arm a defender right to the helmet, and he did that on that play.
Elliott Hamilton, the corner, finally makes the tackle for the Falcons. 2 receivers far side, 2 near side for Forcier over center. A delayed handoff to James. James across the line of scrimmage inside the 30 and close to a first down near the 25-yard line.
His knees down at just outside the 25, so it won't be a first down.
3rd down and 2, though, for the Saints. Clock continues to wind. 5:35 left in the third. This is the first and only possession so far in the third quarter.
Right, but it's amazing, Jeff, to see the Saints change their game plan almost completely from the first quarter to what we see now at this point in the ball game, almost entirely keeping the ball on the ground.
Soto lines up at tight end to the right. Handoff. No, fake to James. Forcier's rolling to his right, looking to keep it himself inside the 25 and out of bounds. At the 23-yard line, that should be enough for a Saints first down, a gain of 3. Boy, Doug, I don't think I've ever said St. Augustine offense and ball control in the same sentence. I mean, they've been playing fast break football for as long as we've been covering the team. But a team that can score in under a minute has churned up almost 7 minutes here in the third quarter.
Right, 5:07 left. And actually, Jeff, if Chris Forcier stayed in bounds on that play, they'd be able to run even more clock off on this drive.
Doug, I think this is the longest drive I've ever called in a St. Augustine football game in my 4 years of covering the team. Over center, Forcier takes a snap, hands off James. James on a counter around the left-hand side, inside the 20, the 15, down to the 11. Another first down, and the offensive line is winning the battle at the line of scrimmage for the Saints. 5 minutes to go in the third.
Certainly is, and Jeff, really only one pickup on this drive in the air. That was the key third down pass to Larry Parker for the first down.
Actually went for 14 yards, led to a 4th and 1.
Excuse me, that wasn't a first down pickup, but it
still a
did
huge
set
play.
up a first down.
1st and 10 Saints at the Falcon 11-yard line. Coons by himself near side, but the ball to James. James inside the 10 down to the 9, and now we have a penalty marker that flies in late.
Is that a possible face mask maybe on the play?
Some kind of personal foul penalty. It looks like this Falcon defense is frustrated. I mean, especially you got to feel for them a little bit. They thought they were done after the first 3 plays of this possession. But
it was
then
a 3 and out. It was supposed to be, at least.
But then the penalty against the Falcons on the punt for too many men on the field, and the Falcons have been worn down ever since by a long Saints drive. Personal foul, Scripps Ranch. Half the distance to the goal line and an automatic first down. The Saints will have the football inside the 5. That is the 3rd personal foul against Scripps Ranch in the game and the 7th overall. 4 against St. Augustine. 4:42 left in the third quarter.
That is a play. That is one of the personal fouls, Jeff, that really hurts and could have been avoided. The play was over. It was a dead ball.
1st and goal. It should be 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. The sticks are still up. They're saying 2nd down. Well, I suppose maybe not an automatic first down. All right, fine. I stand corrected. Romero shifts to the right-hand side. Handoff James. James inside the 4. Forward momentum maybe to the 3.
I don't think so. I think he's stuffed right at the line of scrimmage at the 4. Jeff, it is first down. That was first down. A mistake by the chain gang.
Okay, so I was right then. That's good to know. Right on something today. The ball, no gain at the 4-yard line. Checking into the ball game, replacing Barbaro, is number 13, Brandon Giandoni, junior wide receiver at 6'3". He's a tall target, and he's to the near side. To the far side, Leland Kuntz, he's 6'3" as well. Do I hear a fade route to the corner? No, handoff James over left guard. James not even close to the end zone, and he may have been stopped for no gain again.
Right, and they're actually marking the ball at the 6-yard line.
God, did he lose a couple? Well, here comes.
I disagree with the spot of the ball. It's not by much. And Jeff, the officials, the actual chain gang kept the call as a third down, and the scoreboard changed it to third down as well.
So everybody up here in the booth.
It's now fourth down.
It is.
That was the third down run there for no gain, and now it's a field goal opportunity. So that's a win for Scripps Ranch.
Brimer Hughes on for the field goal try of what will be a 21-yarder from straight away. As everybody up here in the booth thought should have been an automatic first down. Now it's a fake. Parker running to the left. Parker looking for the corner. Parker's not going to get in. A huge stop by the Falcons, and they are in business at the 5-yard line. Wow.
The snap was low, Jeff, but I think that was a designed fake field goal, and it did not fool Scripps Ranch. And I think the Saints lost an opportunity there.
May have been better served to get the 3 points, Doug, and then make the Falcons score 2 touchdowns as opposed to a touchdown and a field goal. But St. Augustine did chew up the positive point for the Saints. 7 minutes and 57 seconds of the third quarter.
8 minutes and 57 seconds. Yeah.
57 seconds.
The Scripps Ranch Falcons are getting the ball for the first time in the second half with 3:03 on the clock in the third quarter.
Tate Forcier finally on the field. Has a tight end to the right. Now an H-back to the right. A bunch formation far side of the field for Forcier on first down. He's going to roll to his right-hand side, running for his life. A man in his face hits his tight end. Big gain across the 20 and upended at the 25-yard line by Larry Parker.
Nice catch by number 87, Jeff. We don't even have a number on our roster for number 87, but we'll give you the props.
And now Forcier going to a hurry-up for the Falcons.
Excuse me, it's number 82, Joey
Icovera. His first catch of the ball game.
Yeah, we haven't called his name yet.
The ball at the 25-yard line of the Falcons. 1st and 10. Russell in motion, left to right, and he gets a handoff around the right-hand side for a significant gain on the wide receiver end around across the 30 out near the 32-yard line.
I like the play calling here on the first 2 plays, Jeff. You have a rollout for Tate Forcier. He has not had protection, so that's a good way to get him throwing the ball. And then an end around for the wide receiver on that play, Jeff picking up 8 yards.
A receiver far side, 3 near side for Forcier over center. A handoff. Torres hit at the line of scrimmage and isn't going to get very far. He may have lost a yard even. No gain, the officials are going to say. 3rd down and 2.5.
That run right up the middle just has not worked the entire night. Not even the first time.
Well, and Torres at 5'7", 160 may not be big enough to move the pile. Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Forcier in the shotgun on 3rd and 3. 2 receivers either side. Back to pass Forcier, looking left, looking right. Nobody open. Rolling right. Throwing it up for grabs and pulling it in for a first down at the 48-yard line, far side of the field. That's Icovera again.
Back-to-back times, Jeff. And that was just a heave by Forcier. He really was throwing it up for grabs, like you said. Man-to-man coverage on Icovera, though, and so he had decent odds. There was absolutely nobody open on the play, and Icovera was blanketed and still hauled it in.
The ball at the 49-yard line of the Falcons. Clock starting. Forcier in the shotgun. Russell in motion to the near sideline. Now back into the slot on the near side. Back to pass Forcier. Forcier steps up, rolling right, rolling left, rolling right, running out of room, trying to get the ball away at the last minute. He does. He's outside the tackle box. It'll be incomplete. Smart move by Forcier, 2nd down and 10. And now a penalty marker late. Way late. Forcier is telling the head official, hey, it was an incomplete pass. I'm outside the tackle box. Why are you going to call grounding? There was no receiver in the vicinity.
I tell you what, Scripps Ranch missed a golden opportunity on the near sideline, the left side of the field. They had 2 receivers. Russell was one of those receivers. There was no defensive back on Russell, Jeff.
Well, and I think
he was picked up by a linebacker in zone coverage, and there was no linebacker behind it. There was nobody behind the linebacker, so he just rolled out. on his route, and he was wide open.
Well, Forcier didn't even have time to look there because the defensive ends of the Saints are getting into the backfield, keeping containment on Forcier before he's got a chance to look downfield. A loss of down and intentional grounding against Tate Forcier puts the ball back at the Falcon 29-yard line, a loss of 20 yards.
Because it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Wow.
And a loss
Huge
of
play.
down. That is one of the most vicious punishments for a penalty, is to lose the down and lose yardage, and it's from the spot of the foul.
Falcons shifting a bunch of receivers around, two far side, one near side. Forcier in the shotgun, Russell in motion from right to left. Back to pass, Forcier sets up, steps up, running for his life. Now he's going to tuck it under and go for it across the 30, knocked out of bounds by Colin Hoffman around the 32-yard line. A short gain of 3, bringing up third down and a long way. The first down marker at the 41 of the Saints.
It's funny how one play, Jeff, can just totally disrupt the momentum that you have in a drive.
The ball at the 32-yard line, no doubt about that. Under a minute to go in the quarter. Third quarter action, St. Augustine leads at 20-10 over Scripps Ranch. Forcier with 5 receivers. He's in the backfield by himself. Takes a snap, drops back, has some time, not anymore. Running away from one man, now looking at Chris Poussin. He's back at his 10-yard line, his 5. He better get rid of it. Now steps up, throwing a bomb deep downfield, looking for his receiver. Russell almost pulls it in. Incomplete. Wow. I got to tell you, Daniel Romero had a look at Forcier, almost had the sack. Forcier rolls back to the near side, sees Chris Poussin staring at him at the 10-yard line, heads back to his 5, dodges a tackler and throws it up for grabs and almost completes it.
Wow. I got to tell you, Jeff, Tate Forcier, if he had any time in this ball game, he would be looking sharp. Number 25, Daniel Romero, the defensive lineman, Jeff, for St. Augustine, shed his blocker immediately and was in the backfield as if he had been untouched. And this is a defensive lineman that comes in weighing 195 pounds, standing 5'11". There's no reason that your offensive lineman can't get a body on him and at least create a couple of seconds for Tate Forcier to throw the football.
Porfala on to punt, and we have a penalty marker. A false start against the Falcons. Boy, the wheels kind of falling off here a little bit for Scripps Ranch in the third quarter. They're now back at their 27. Fortunate for them, they haven't given up a point yet. They still trail by 2 possessions. Porfala now back inside his 15. Larry Parker awaiting the punt around his 38-yard line. Porfala is such a weapon. He's got a great leg.
Well, I'll tell you what, from the skill position, Scripps Ranch matches up pretty well, but the game is being won in the trenches right now.
Porfala gets it to Parker, who starts at his 34, ducks 2 tacklers, and finally tripped up at the 38-yard line. A return of 4 yards, but Parker was hoping to break a third tackle and take it a long way. Instead, the Saints start at their own end with 22 seconds left in the third quarter.
Had a scoreless third quarter where the Saints drove down and took up 8 minutes and 57 seconds. Scripps Ranch's drive took 2 minutes and 41 seconds. And we'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight, including Congo Gear. Congo Gear's on our website with a banner ad, and they provide a whole bunch of apparel for you and your friends. Check out Congo Gear. Check out their website, but do it after this game.
Offset I formation to the right behind Forcier, who gives it to James. James hit in the backfield, dodges a tackler, heads upfield across the 40. Makes a positive gain out what could have been a 2-yard loss. Instead, he's out to the 44-yard line, a gain of 6.
Great footwork by James, Jeff, keeping his feet under him after he took a very solid hit that should have been a one-on-one tackle in the backfield.
This will wrap up the third quarter, folks. Amazingly, each team had a possession. St. Augustine getting the ball back for their second possession of the half. They lead it 20-10 after 3 quarters of play. You're listening to San Diego Section High School football here on KBCSports.com. Jeff Kurtz with Doug Kurtz. We're 12 minutes away from the conclusion of this game, but we want to let you know that in addition to Congo Gear, Project Athlete, a sponsor of KBCSports.com, they've been training athletes and helping people with their physical therapy for the last several years now in the North County. Core Orthopedics, some of the best orthopedic surgeons in the business. The Kicking System, training field goal kickers and punters here in the San Diego section for the last couple of years. The law offices of Scott Tepper, operating in the Imperial Valley and San Diego counties. You don't often need, you hope to not need a family attorney, but if you do, contact Scott Tepper. And, of course, in this type of real estate market, with prices going down, you need a real estate agent on your side. Dale Downing, operating out of the South Bay, can assist you with your housing needs. The real estate offices of Dale Downing. And, of course, our principal sponsor, allprostickers.com. Their sponsorship allows us to provide you with free high school sports programming on our website. We invite you to utilize our sponsors, and when you do, let them know that kbcsports.com sent you. Teams switch sides to begin the fourth quarter. St. Augustine with the ball at their own 43, now going right to left. Second down and 5 for Forcier, who's going to hand off to James. James up the middle, big yardage, finally tackled at the Falcon 38-yard line. Well, Doug, you've been waiting for James to break out, and he picks up a double-digit gain right there.
He has had a huge night, Jeff, really beginning in the second quarters when he really revved up. And Coach Ralph has a lot of confidence in him because he's getting a ton of touches in the second and third quarter. And now into the fourth quarter.
The ball at the 38-yard line of the Falcons. Their defense has been on the field a lot in this second half.
It's like Marty Schottenheimer's calling the plays for the Saints tonight because they're keeping the ball on the ground.
I think Marty Ball, the playbook, ended up on the St. Augustine sideline, uncharacteristically. Forcier is going to play action fake and roll left. Looking down the field, now he's going to tuck it under and run inside the 35-30 and out of bounds near the first down marker, right around the 28-29 yard line of the Falcons.
First down marker's at the 28, and they're marking the ball at the 29.
A 9-yard gain.
I tell you what, Jeff, when you're picking up 7, 8, 9 yards on first down, that your offense is on a roll and you're dominating. And I think the Saints right now, Jeff, are dominating this ball game. Unfortunately for them, the scoreboard is not reflecting it. They're up 20-10. They do have a comfortable lead, but Scripps Ranch has not been put away.
11:27 to go in the ball game. To the far side, Dominique Johnson, one to the near side, Kuntz, handoff James. He's got the first down and is going to scramble forward to the 25-yard line, a gain of 4 yards, and the drive will continue.
Scripps Ranch, Jeff, has back-to-back difficult games after this one, and they're playing two teams that love to run the football. And so they need to make some serious adjustments because they played Mira Mason Cathedral in their last two games of the season. Both of those teams keep the ball on the ground first. They're both big physical teams that have a big size on their offensive line. And Scripps Ranch will definitely need to make some adjustments in the off week.
Offside I formation to the right behind Forcier, who's going to give it to James again. Inside the 25, breaks the tackle. 20, 15, a first down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 11 yards. And the offensive line is just wearing down the defensive unit of Scripps Ranch. Doug, and one thing that the Falcons are going to have to worry about over the next 2 weeks against Cathedral next week and then Mira Mesa the following, both of those teams do a very good job rushing the passer as well. And Tate Forcier not getting a whole lot of time tonight. Not likely to see much time in the pocket the following 2 weeks.
Right. I think that St. Augustine has exposed the weaknesses that are on the Falcons squad tonight. And Coach Ralph learned them pretty early on, and ever since the second quarter has been just playing that tight game plan.
Forcier, again an I formation. James around the right side, and he's going to be stuffed, this time for a loss of a couple. Back to the 16-yard line. Nice job by the Scripps Ranch defense stringing that play out to the right-hand side. Second down and 12.
Evan Love getting in the backfield, Jeff, and putting the arms around the back on that play, James, and wrapping him up. And on first down, a nice stop on that play brings up 2nd and 13.
Boy, Doug, after one quarter, we thought we might see ourselves a little bit of an offensive shootout, but the game has settled down significantly. No scoring in the third quarter at all. We're at the 10-minute mark of the third quarter. Still no scoring. 20-10, St. Augustine leading. Dominique Johnson heading to the far side of the football field at receiver. Kuntz to the near side. Now a split backfield behind Chris Forcier, and we've got a penalty marker, a delay of game against the Saints. Dead ball penalty, delay of game, 5-yard loss, and now second down and 17 for St. Augustine, back at the Falcon 21-yard line.
Well, the Falcons scored, Jeff, their only touchdown with 2:58 to go in the first quarter, and they haven't scored since. So they are now working on 2 quarters, about 30 minutes of game time without scoring.
The officials are going to spot the ball at the 22. The first down marker just inside the 5-yard line. Second down and 17 for the Saints. Kuntz to the far side, Johnson near side. Split backfield behind Forcier. Tight end to the left. Forcier takes a snap, drops back to pass, hits Soto underneath to the 15. Soto carrying a defensive back down to the 12-yard line, finally making the tackle, Elliott Hamilton. Soto a gain of 10 yards.
Now they need to get to the 5-yard line for the first down.
3rd and 7, Doug, coming up here for the Saints.
So they got about half of what they needed on that play, a little bit more than half, and now they need another pass play to get either the first down or a touchdown. Knocking on the door on their first drive of the half, Jeff, they elected to have a fake field goal that was not converted for a first down. Otherwise, they would have some points already in the half.
This time, Forcier in the shotgun on 3rd and 7. Back to pass. Sets up, looking left, throwing underneath. Hits Parker at the 3, into the end zone. Touchdown. Parker shaking the tackle of Steven Dixon. Gets in, and Chris Forcier, the touchdown pass from 12 yards away. 26-10, Saints lead it. Well, that has been a very patient St. Augustine offense that we've seen from the beginning of the second quarter on, and they've now extended their lead. Looking to make it 27-10 as Hughes is on for the extra point. Larry Parker, the holder. Parker awaits the snap. It's a good one. Hughes kick, a good one as well. 27-10 the score here on KBCSports.com with 8:58 to go in the fourth quarter of play. You are listening to San Diego Section High School Football. We're featuring an Eastern League matchup in this ball game at Balboa Stadium. Jeff Kurtz with Doug Kurtz, cameraman Miles Sweet here this evening. And Doug, I really, like I said earlier on in the third quarter, I don't think I've ever said St. Augustine offense and ball control in the same sentence, but they have been so patient here tonight.
Well, and we thought, Jeff, this game was the Forcier Bowl, and it would be Forcier versus Forcier, and the coaches would just kind of run them loose and let them just do their thing. But for two very different reasons, the quarterbacks have not been as big of factors as we thought they would be. For Chris Forcier, the ground game has just been huge, and Coach Ralph keeps calling run after run after run, and his backs, mainly Leach James, are picking up huge amounts of yardage. For Tate Forcier, the second half has been a half where he just hasn't had the ball in his hands barely at all. They had one possession for 2 minutes, and that's been it. But also, Jeff, he just doesn't have enough time and protection to be able to drop back and make many passes. There's been 16 minutes of football in the second half, and the Saints have had the ball for 13 and a half minutes.
Wow.
That's about 80% of the second half time.
Barrick set to kick the ball away, going right to left. A low line drive over everybody's head into the end zone for a touchback. A nice kick by Barrick. 1st and 10 Falcons at their own 20, and if they're going to come back in this ball game, Scripps Ranch, they're going to have to do it behind the arm of Tate Forcier.
Well, we are wrapping up one game, but look to us for next Thursday night when our coverage continues as Carlsbad takes on Rancho Buena Vista. You can check out our broadcast schedule on KBCSports.com and see all the games that we cover next week, or check us out. Our listings are in the Union Tribune.
That game, a 7:05 start on first down. Forcier over center is going to hand off to Torres. Torres fumbles the football, and St. Augustine recovers at the 24-yard line. Coming up with a recovery, Colin Hoffman. I didn't see who stripped it. It might have been number 44, Derek Holsapple.
It was Holsapple, Jeff. He got his arms right around Torres and had him wrapped up and decided, hey, I've got him. I might as well, as he's going down, see if I can wrest the ball loose. And he did.
And Hoffman falls on it, and the Saints have it at the Falcon 24-yard line. That's only the first turnover of the football game. For Scripps Ranch, I should say.
Correct.
For Scripps Ranch.
St. Augustine has had one interception early on in the game.
On first down, Forcier back to pass. Fade route near sideline for Leland Kuntz, and it's going to be deflected away. Nice defense by Steven Dixon. Incomplete pass.
Dixon, Jeff, played that ball perfectly. He was ahead of the receiver, and then he used his body going after the ball himself. He used the body to force Kuntz out of the play, and then really Kuntz had to reach over him to try to even make a play on the ball.
8:48 to go in the ball game. St. Augustine leads it 27-10. We have an upset out of the South Bay as Eastlake on the road losing, to Chula Vista 21-13.
That's a big surprise.
Forcier back to pass, throwing underneath. It's Kuntz near side. Oh, actually, Kuntz dropped the football. Incomplete. I had already called it a catch for Kuntz at the 12. Incomplete pass.
12 yards downfield. Kuntz did the classic, before you bring the ball in, look to see if you're going to get hit. And he just took his eye off the football and couldn't bring it in.
3rd down and 10 for the Saints at the Falcon 24-yard line. Parker coming into the ball game. He'll replace Soto. Also checking in, Daniel Romero. He'll replace Daniel Butler. Exchanging one Daniel for another. Kuntz to the near side with Alan Aguilar in the make that Butler in the slot. Forcier back to pass, sets up, throws, looking for James, and James wasn't looking back into the backfield. Incomplete. The ball thrown behind James. 4th down and 10.
That's a communication error. And James, Jeff, needs to be able to pick up that Forcier is being blitzed and that he's going to be the hot receiver because the blitz was coming from his side. And his defender went in a pass rush towards Forcier, so he was wide open. He's got to be able to read that and know that the ball's coming his way.
St. Augustine's going to go for it on 4th and 10. It'd be a 41-yard field goal try for Hughes from here. And Coach Ralph electing to forego the field goal opportunity and instead sends Barbaro to the far side of the field. Parker in the slot near side with Kuntz. Forcier in the shotgun. James to his right. Forcier takes a snap on 4th and 10. Drops back. Here comes the pressure. He spins away from it from the left-hand side. Now sprinting back to the near side. Forcier tucking the ball away inside the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown on a great block by Leland Kuntz at the 5-yard line. A score from 24 yards out. Chris Forcier.
And that was all skill, Jeff. Chris Forcier evaded the tackler in the backfield and then is in run mode, scrambling to his left side of the field. And, Jeff, he could have been tracked down from behind, but he simply had one blocker that he could follow, and then he just turned it into overdrive, and he outran everybody.
And Leland Kuntz had a great seal block at receiver at the 5-yard line, giving Forcier the corner and the score. Extra point try. This is Barrick on for the extra point, his first of the game. The kick up. And good. 34-10. St. Augustine is pulled away from Scripps Ranch with 8:19 to go in the ball game.
Well, and 2 touchdowns within 37 seconds, Jeff has put this one away. It's now official. You can stick a flag in it. Start etching that tombstone. The Saints have chalked up a win, Jeff, and 34-10. I guess you could say mathematically Scripps Ranch is still in it if they score 3 times, 3 touchdowns with 3 2-point conversions in 8 minutes, 19 seconds. It's possible, and I won't rule that out. But you're looking at the Saints going to 2-1 in league. That's the implication tonight. Scripps Ranch will be 2-1, but the tiebreaker will go to the Saints, and the Saints now, Jeff, seem to be back on track. And what their record will be? 5-3.
5-3 with games against Morris next week, which the Saints should be heavily favored in, and then the following week, the biggie on Thursday, November 9th, the annual Holy Bowl against Cathedral at Southwestern College.
And we know how that one turned out last year.
Oh, that was an amazing game last year. St. Augustine winning also in the playoffs in the semifinals of the Division III level against the Dons. Both games well attended, over 10,000 people at each game. 8:19 to go in this one, 34-10 the score. Meanwhile, Scripps Ranch after this has the unenviable task of facing Cathedral next week and Mira Mesa the following week. Barrick ready to kick the ball away. Russell back to receive along with Bagby, and Barrick is going to say, well, no soup for you. There, he's going to kick it into the end zone for a touchback. Scripps Ranch with the ball at their own 20-yard line.
We want to remind you that tonight's game is available for replay on our website. And as well, you can also order a DVD of today's game in our kbcsports.com store. Click on Order Recordings in your media player. You don't even need to go to the store. You can do it straight from your media player. And you can order your DVD. In fact, we have a ton of games that we've covered all season long. So if you haven't picked yours up yet,
As Forcier throwing long on first down. The pass almost pulled in by Russell, battling two defenders for it. Incomplete. Second down and 10. Wow, what a great pass by Forcier. Finally had some time, and throwing into double coverage, Russell almost made a spectacular catch at the St. Augustine 45-yard line, Doug.
Well, there was a safety that came over to help, and that really disrupted the play. Otherwise, that would have been hauled in as a completion.
Meanwhile, we have an update, actually, in the final, I should say, in the Helix Steel Canyon game. We'll get to that in just a moment as Tate Forcier putting a man in motion left to right. And we'll give it to Torres. Torres into the secondary and has a first down. His best run of the game across the 30, out to the 31-yard line. Make that Bagby his best carry of the game. Give him 12 to the 32 and a first down. A game of interest to St. Augustine fans certainly is Steel Canyon at the Division III level, and now you're talking about seeding in the Division III playoffs. Steel Canyon led 14-7 over Helix at the half, but the Highlanders come storming back and win it 28-14 at home.
Here, Jeff, Falcons finally got some nice push on first down and got that pickup or second down on the ground.
Meanwhile, Bagby on a first down carry, fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Not a lot of holes for Falcons running backs to run through tonight.
Second down and 10.
We have 7.5 minutes to go in the game. Falcons trying to put something together, Jeff.
Forcier is going to play action fake, set up in the pocket, rolling to his left-hand side away from trouble, sets up, throws, pass complete at the 41, and breaking a couple of tackles and getting the first down. Is the ball loose on the field? And
the Saints say that the ball's loose, but the officials are waving the play dead.
The officials are going to say the receiver was down. It's going to be enough for a first down, but we're having a little bit of a
scrum here. The officials are saying yes, first down, Falcons. A nice catch, Jeff, by number 82, Joey Icovera, and he gets hit 2 yards short of the first down, but he's able to spin out of the tackle and lean forward, pick up the first down at the 43-yard line.
First down and 10 for the Falcons. Forcier over center, receiver near side, receiver far side, one back, double tight ends. Handoff to Bagby, who's going to be dropped at the 41-yard line. A loss of a couple. Under 7 minutes to go in the ball game.
Well, the Falcons are still trying to get that running game going, Jeff. I think at this point it's just for the sake of execution and improving the execution of the blocking schemes and just getting better technique out of the offensive linemen.
On 2nd and 12, Forcier now in the shotgun with Bagby to his right. Forcier back to pass, sets up, now steps up, looking, pump faking. He's going to tuck it away and run with it to the 45, and out of bounds at the 49-yard line, ducking his head and absorbing a hit from Hoffman. And a good gain on the play up to midfield by Forcier. More makeable third down now for the Falcons.
Falcons, Jeff, looking for the future. Obviously, they would think that if Tate Forcier stays at their school, that they've got 2 more years of this fine quarterback, and they can assemble a pretty good team around them. Unfortunately for them, Brian Russell, their star wide receiver, is a senior, and he will be graduating this year and moving on.
With 6:23 left in the game, a receiver to either side for Forcier, double tight ends, one back in the backfield on 3rd and a long 4. Forcier directing traffic at the line of scrimmage, over center. Takes a snap, drops back, now sprinting out to his left-hand side away from trouble. He's looking downfield, he might as well run with it. He's going to. He's got the first down inside the 45-40 and then runs over a defensive back far side of the field. That's a little bit of a frustration run there. Usually a quarterback will run out of bounds, but Forcier just lowers his shoulder and bowls into the defender.
And that was Celadon, Marcus Celadon, or Manny Celadon, who made the tackle.
The ball down to the St. Augustine 37-yard line. 38, I should say.
Until this drive, Jeff, the Scripps Ranch Falcons had the ball for exactly, almost roughly, let's say, 3 minutes of the second half out of the 18 minutes that have been played.
One back in the backfield behind Forcier. Again, double tight ends, a receiver either side. Saints rush 4. Handoff Bagby over left guard. Slips a tackle at the 35 and is wrapped up at the 32-yard line, a gain of 6.
Well,
Under 6 minutes left.
Bagby, Jeff, on this drive has had 3 rushes for 17 yards, and that's by far superior to anything else that they've done on any other drive tonight with their running game. And you got to think, well, what if they had turned to this this guy earlier in the game? What would have happened? Would they have been able to get a few extra first downs, maybe keep some of those drives alive?
2nd down and 4 for the Falcons, trailing 34-10 with 5:30 left in the football game. Forcier takes a snap, again hands off to Bagby, who's plowing forward inside the 30, still on his feet. This kid's strong. He's not very big. Finally stopped at the 29-yard line.
Gain of about 3.
Cameron Bagby goes 5'6", 162, but somehow with some help from offensive linemen carried a pile.
I get the feeling that his size is one of the reasons they didn't turn to him earlier in the game. But maybe this is a viable option for the Falcons for the next 2 games of the season.
Well, with their starting running back, Brennan Clay, a freshman, out due to injury, Bagby may be the solution. 3rd down and 1 for the Falcons. The ball at the 29-yard line.
Bagby, a kick returner. That's where he's seen most of the action tonight, but now getting a few snaps.
Forcier trying to draw the Saints offside, and he may have done exactly that.
Oh, he did. Yeah, you're right.
Nice job by the quarterback. A 5-yard penalty against St. Augustine. The ball down to the 24-yard line of the Saints on the offside penalty, 1st and 10. Today's game being brought to you by allprostickers.com for banners, business cards, and signage. Contact Mike McGrath and his team, 619-994-6335. That's allprostickers.com. On 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line, a receiver to the near side, one to the far side. Play action fake, rolling and throwing the quarterback inside the 20. Nice hurdle by the tight end down to the 12-yard line, Ike Vera, as we have a new quarterback in the game, number 12, Josh De La Pena, a junior at 5'11", in the football game. Don't know if Forcier took a tough blow on that run to the sideline where he tried to run over Colin Hoffman, or just a little bit of a change-up, what with the game well in hand for the St. Augustine Saints here in the late going. But now De La Pena at the controls for the Falcons. The ball at the 11.
Nice hurdle by Ike Vera on that last pass play. Got some pretty good air for a guy that weighs
showing a little
185 pounds.
Showing a little bit of a vert there as Russell to the near side, a receiver to the far side, Wilberforce. De La Pena with a tight end, make that 2 to the left-hand side. 4:19 left in the game. 1st and 10, officials timeout on the field.
They're resetting the clock, Jeff. I guess the clock somehow got about 5 or 6 seconds ahead of what the officials' time is on the field.
So they're adjusting that at the moment. Keep track of the updates of the games we are covering here on KBCSports.com by utilizing our ticker that we've got going on underneath your media player as the 5 seconds added on the clock, 4:24 to go. De La Pena over center with Bagby in the backfield. Bagby takes the handoff on 1st down. Nice cutback into the middle of the field. He's able to get a couple of yards, maybe 3 out of what could have been a loss. Nice run by Bagby, a great cutback.
Yeah, an excellent feat, Jeff, because the tackler was going for his feet, and he is able to just move his feet, get up in the air, so he couldn't be grabbed and grappled to the ground. Nice move.
2nd down and 6. Somehow Bagby squeezed 4 yards out of that. Nice run. 3:47 and counting here in the 4th quarter of play. St. Augustine ahead, 34-10. De La Pena in at quarterback for the Falcons. Double tight ends, one back, a receiver either side. Bagby again cuts back into the interior, and then he's drilled after a gain of 1 at the 6-yard line.
Well, the offensive push just ended there on that play. That's a nice surge by the defensive line. 2 guys got a really nice hit on Bagby and knocked him to the ground, no gain.
3:15 left in the game. 3rd down.
Let's
call it 5 for the Falcons.
Let's see if they go to the air and have De La Pena throw the ball.
Well, he's already completed 1 pass to Ike Vera. He's got Bagby behind him.
He's got Russell isolated to the near sideline, Jeff.
On Larry Parker, one of the best defensive backs in the section. De La Pena is going to play action fake, rolling to Russell's side. Here comes the rush, spins away from it, throws underneath, deflected away by Colin Hoffman. Incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down with 2:48 remaining.
Well, with the game basically in hand, do you bring in your field goal kicker, Jeff, just to get some extra points on the board, or do you go for it?
I think you've got De La Pena in there. You might as well take a shot at the 1st down. 4th down and 5.
Certainly no loss at this point, even if you don't score.
The 1st down marker at the 2-yard line. The Falcons at the Saints 7. Clock stop with 2:48 to go.
Wow, a big game up in the North County and La Costa Canyon is manhandling Poway 38-7.
In the 3rd quarter, we already have 2 finals. Chula Vista over Eastlake 21-13. Steel Canyon falls to Helix 28-14. Trying to get an update in that Hoover Point Loma game for you, as now we've got a whistle on the field, a timeout being called by Scripps Ranch. They now have 1 remaining.
Well, folks, the housing market is tight. It's hard to sell your home, and you need to turn to somebody you can trust who will give you the personal attention that you need, and that person is the real estate office of Dale Downing. He's specializing in the South County. Check out the real estate office of Dale Downing. Our web link is on kbcsports.com.
Doug, let's talk a little bit about the Division III playoffs, as we're your home for the CIF San Diego section playoffs for football, and also the State Bowl Championship this year, the first in the state of California in over 70 years. Doug, Division III shaping up to be one of the toughest divisions right now. In some polls, Cal High Sports, one in particular, has St. Augustine rated 8th out of the teams in the Division III.
8th? I find that hard to believe. I
Amazing.
don't know who's rated ahead of that.
Well, El Cap is 1, Point Loma is 2, Central and Brawley are up there.
I thought so.
Ramona, who beat St. Augustine earlier on the year. Steel Canyon was ahead of the Saints. Cathedral immediately behind St. Augustine, but what a matchup that would be if El Cap at number 1 would face number 8 St. Augustine in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I don't think the seeding will end up that way. I think the Saints are a stronger team than that.
4th down and 5 for De La Pena, who's going to play action fake, roll to his right, looking into the end zone, throwing, and the pass incomplete, intended for Bagby. Great effort by Bagby. Nice defense by St. Augustine. The Saints will take over on downs. And Doug, just getting back to those playoffs for a moment, you'll be able to find out who's in the CIF playoffs and who they're playing at our Selection Saturday show on Saturday, November the 11th. The first place you can find out the pairings in the San Diego Section CIF playoffs on your home for the section finals, kbcsports.com. We've got a Hoover Point Loma score, and Point Loma rolling over the Cardinals, 35-14.
Well, that was a game, Jeff, to definitely find out how good Hoover is. And I think Point Loma is got to be the fans have to be very happy about that score.
St. Augustine is going to keep the ball on the ground with 2:40 to go in the game. A short run is not going to net any yardage on 1st down over the right-hand side. 2nd down and 10, but St. Augustine leading 34-10 in a game that was billed as like the Manning brothers playing in the first game of the NFL season. Peyton against Eli. This one a little bit of Tate, the sophomore, against Chris, the senior, but Chris Forcier with a little bit more talent on the offensive and defensive lines, and that certainly helped offensively. St. Augustine at 34-10 lead, and now David Popkins, the backup quarterback in the game for the Saints.
Yeah, I'd say, Jeff, that the Saints have just a little bit better supporting cast right now for Chris Forcier.
As a handoff, Popkins giving it to the running back around the right-hand side, out across the 10 to the 11-yard line goes Butler.
But I tell you what, the way that first quarter went with Scripps Ranch up 10-7 after the end of the first quarter, you would have thought this would be a shootout tonight, and you would have thought that both of these guys, both of the Forcier brothers, would be still playing at the end of this ball game. Instead, neither of them has been playing for the final 5 minutes of this ball game, as it's the Saints 34 and Scripps Ranch 10. Scripps Ranch never scored since 2:58 to go in the first quarter.
Amazing. And St. Augustine has been playing a ball control offense since the second quarter. 3rd down and 6 for the Saints. Popkins breaks the huddle, sends 2 receivers near side, 1 far side, with 1 minute to go in the football game. 1 back in the backfield behind Popkins. The Saints likely to keep it on the ground, and they will. Hand off to the running back around the right-hand side, the short side of the field, for a minimal gain out near the 14-yard line, but the first down marker out at the 17. Coming up 3 yards shy. 43 seconds left in the game. St. Augustine's going to move to 2-1 in the Eastern League and 5-3 overall. Scripps Ranch will fall to 6-2 and 2-1 as well. And now Mira Mesa, provided they won this evening, is in the driver's seat for the Eastern League Championship yet again. And watch out if you're if you're at the Division I level and you get Mira Mesa, they're a tough squad.
They have beaten, Jeff, both Cathedral and Saints already, so some of their toughest games are behind them in league. They do have to play Scripps Ranch, but Scripps Ranch also has to play Cathedral, so everything is really lining up for Mira Mesa, Jeff, to have the advantage. They could even lose one of these games, one of their last 2 games in league, and still win the division.
4 seconds left in the football game, and St. Augustine will call a timeout before they get a delay of game penalty. And talk it over on 4th down and 3. Folks, stay tuned for our KBCSports.com postgame show, where Doug and I will step away for a few moments at the completion of the ball game, discuss who our player of the game is, and come back with a postgame show here on our website.
But if you look, Mira Mesa can lose a game and win the division because the tiebreaker is head-to-head, and they own the advantage over both Cathedral and the Saints. And the only other team that would have the possibility of winning the head-to-head tiebreaker and winning tying the division with them is Scripps Ranch.
And the Falcons
who
would
still have
to
play them.
Yeah,
they'd have to beat Mira Mesa
and
Cathedral. 2 tough games.
Miller on to punt with 4 seconds left in the game, and this likely would conclude the ball game on this particular play.
Who would have thought, Jeff, that if you look at this Eastern League, that Mira Mesa, with a couple of games to go, will be the oh, there's a timeout on the field.
Another timeout. St. Augustine, actually an official's timeout on the football field. Looks like St. Augustine may have called it. They did.
Who would have thought, Jeff, that the Mira Mesa Marauders this year would be the favorite team to win the division with a couple of games left?
Well, you know, Mira Mesa does play probably the toughest pre-league schedule of anybody
Certainly
in the section.
And with losing some very key seniors from last year's squad, a lot of people, I think, assumed that they would be rebuilding. They may finish, 3rd in a competitive Eastern League. And now they're the favorite team to win it all.
And they'll make some noise at the Division I level. I would not want to face Mira Mesa, who's probably not going to get a super high well, if they win league, they might. But their record certainly wouldn't reflect a high seeding necessarily overall. But
I think even in a best-case scenario, Jeff, Mira Mesa with some of the other big powers at Division I is going to be in the middle of the pack of seeding for the Division I playoffs. But that is a team that has, Jeff, they're well-coached, they're very disciplined, they're able to do the fundamentals well, which is protect the quarterback and create some holes for the running game, and they can both throw the ball and run the ball, Jeff. They're a team that can do a lot offensively, and defensively they're very solid.
St. Augustine with 4 seconds left in the football game, leading 34-10. Larry Parker standing deep around the goal line. I don't know if St. Augustine's going to snap it to Parker, run around a little bit. It looks like Parker's going to punt. How about that? That guy does a little bit of everything for this team over the last 3 years. He plays defensive back, receiver. He's a backup quarterback. He's going to run around, burn off some time, and then he's going to fall down at the 6-yard line, and that is how the game will conclude. St. Augustine wins it 34-10 over Scripps Ranch. Doug and I are going to step away for just a moment, leave you with some music, come back with a short post-game show. We'll be back with more in a moment. Back here on KBCSports.com, wrapping up from Balboa Stadium, where the St. Augustine Saints have emerged 34-10 victors over the Scripps Ranch Falcons in a highly anticipated matchup between the brothers Forcier, Chris, the senior quarterback for the Saints, Tate, the sophomore for the Scripps Ranch Falcons. And Doug, you and I had a quick discussion about player of the game, but this time we're giving it to a players of the game. A lot of guys scoring touchdowns for St. Augustine. Chris Forcier threw for 3 scores. Larry Parker scored a couple. Leach James had a ton of yards running and scored a touchdown as well. But there was a catalyst to all of that offense, and it was
the St. Augustine offensive line, Jeff. I think if we really boiled down the difference maker in this ball game, it was the protection that Chris Forcier had and the holes that were humongous holes that Leach James was getting when he was running the ball, and Daniel Butler as well when he was running the ball. And I think if you had to say what was the difference in the win for St. Augustine, their offensive line just controlled the line of scrimmage.
Doug, Saints went ball control, especially in that second half, that long 8-minute drive in the third quarter. Yeah, amazingly. I've never seen that before. And covering St. Augustine football for 4 years, and you can't do that without great offensive line play, and that's what the Saints had.
Yeah, they absolutely did, Jeff. They had a stretch where they controlled the ball for 15 out of 18 of the first 18 minutes of the second half, and really Scripps Ranch never had a chance to get back into this ball game during that stretch.
Doug, and looking at the Forcier matchup tonight, Chris we've seen a lot of. He threw for 3 touchdowns, ran for another, and had an interception, but certainly a lot of yards and directed a great offense. Tate Forcier, perhaps not as strong a supporting cast, just a sophomore, but he looks excellent.
Jeff, he's a great quarterback. He just never had enough time to stand back in the pocket and have receivers run routes and get open. He did have 1 touchdown pass, which was excellent, and he played a great game. He's able to create a lot with his feet as well, and I'd say that he is the real deal.
Well, folks, that'll wrap us up from Balboa Stadium here tonight. A number of people to thank on our website, allowing us to make tonight's broadcast possible. First of all, Peter LeDrew, our broadcast engineer and web host up in British Columbia, Canada. Miles Sweet, our cameraman. Thanks to Doug Kurtz, our analyst. I'm Jeff Kurtz saying goodnight from Balboa Stadium. Final score, 34-10. The St. Augustine Saints beat the Scripps Ranch Falcons, moved to 2-1 in league. We will catch you next Thursday evening. Carlsbad against Rancho Buena Vista, another weekend of high school football in the San Diego section. Good night.